Greetings and salutations, this is Brian from Mechbladestudios. I bet you looked at the title of this video assuming that the channel is going to be an SAO channel from now on. But that's not going to be the case. The fact of the matter is, I meant to either put this out before the DLC review or at the very end of it, like how I talked about the main SAO show after talking about the base game. Based on the overwhelming response to that video, I'm going to assume that you know that the DLC's psyche melting difficulty meant that that couldn't happen. When I played through Fatal Bullet for the first time, I was introduced to 4 characters that I wasn't familiar with that weren't the main characters of the game. Len, Fukajiro, Pito and M. It turns out they're actually the main characters of a Sword Art Online spin-off called Sword Art Online Alternative Gale Online. Try saying that one 3 times fast. That's why I went with Sawago in my Fatal Bullet follow-up. Running from April 8th to June 30th of 2018, Sawago is a side story focusing on Karen Kohiruimaki, a college student who joins GGL as a tiny avatar named Len to deal with her height complex. Action, antics, and urgency of all things ensue. The show also has background information regarding the original SAO incident and throwaway lines regarding the Phantom Bullet arc, but the main SAO show is not necessary viewing to watch and understand Sawago, other than catching a few references. With Jesus-kun not present, the action here gets to shine on its own without the foregone conclusion that Kirito is going to win every fight. In addition, the fights are a lot more brutal than the original show. Do I need a gore warning? Nah, screw it, it's VR, there's no blood. Cue the montage!
You can't get away!
Back to it. Why won't you die? This is why I hate using pistols.
You lousy, rotten, sleazy, perverted
It's a sight to behold, if only Battle Royale games are actually this cool. Designs and backgrounds are straight military with a futuristic edge, with an obvious exception. Not nearly as much hard sci-fi as Fatal Bullet. The music is there. Not bad, not fantastic. The OP Ryusei by Air AO is pretty good though. ED is not my cup of tea, but it's nice. Another highlight is just how distinct and weird the characters are. You know you're in for a colorful cast when this is your lead character and this is what she actually looks like. Karen/Len's arc with dealing with her height complex is resolved pretty quickly in the show. It's primarily used to set up a number of similar situations with the other characters, such as with the high school gymnastics club that plays as hardcore butch Amazon types in GGO that idolizes Len after she defeats them. Given her persona online and her real-life personality, her creative fighting style caught me off guard, but is enjoyable to watch. She's a fan of fictional singer Elsa Kanzaki, whose songs have a therapeutic effect on her. Len's arc otherwise is just her trying to gain more confidence in herself in her journey to save our next character. Pito starts out as this cool, somewhat mysterious big sister type before it turns out she's a complete psycho with a death wish. She beta tested SAO back in the day, but couldn't play it when the death game itself began. Her fascination with the incident drove her crazy to the point where if she doesn't win Squad Jam 2, she'll kill herself. She made a deal with Len where in a situation where they duel and Len wins, they'll meet each other in real life. Her true identity is one I admittedly knew going in when I was trying to figure out who these characters were in Fatal Bullet, the aforementioned singer that Karen listens to, Elsa Kanzaki. All of Pito's remarks of her issues IRL take on a somewhat worrying form with that in mind. The king of weird in the show is M, or Goshi. When he was introduced, he appears to be a monolithic, monotone gun expert, able to identify guns based on their firing sound alone. Quick side note, why can they use real gun names in the show, but not in Fatal Bullet? He's also good at memorizing maps, which is where his alias M comes from. Things get a little weird when he tries to kill his partner Len in the first Squad Jam, insisting that Pito will murder him if he loses. They get weirder when he meets Karen in real life, revealing himself to be quite the looker in the process, and tells her about the self-imposed death game situation, shying away from telling her his exact relationship to Pito. After the Pito-related crisis is averted, he reveals that he was her stalker. I got nothing, that's just bizarre. The other one that lacks such intrigue is Miyu/Fukajiro, who is Karen's best friend. That's more or less her character, although his brash, flashy nature helps. Remember those 2 characters they ran into in Fatal Bullet that started the need for extreme grinding? They're here, but in small, one-note roles. Clarence here is an androgynous girl that gets all pervy around Len, demanding a kiss from her in exchange for her ammo. Shirley is part of a squad that initially calls a truce with Pito during Squad Jam 2 before the latter slaughters them all. Shirley, the sole survivor, tries to kill her, jeopardizing Len's plan to kill Pito first. The overall gimmick, I hesitate to call it a theme, of the show is how VR, or video games in general, can let you be who you really are inside. The meek, broken, and weird can become animated, cool, or less weird by just putting on a headset. It can be used either as wish fulfillment or a coping mechanism. The regular SAO tried to do this, but it got lost in everything else that happened in the show. As you probably know by now, I watched the dubbed version, and I'm really impressed with the performances here. A good chunk of the voice actors essentially had to play dual roles as their characters' GGO avatars and their real-life selves.
That's such BS! Of all the teams, why'd they drop hers the farthest away?
So the reason Pito wants to gamble her life is to turn SJ2 into another death game. And all because she wants to experience what being in one's like?
They called it Squad Jam, SJ for short. The sign-ups for teams are going on right this minute.
I'm only alive now because you killed me. But if you don't stop squeezing me so tight, I just might die for real.
I gotta hand it to them. Splitting up a team of 6 the way they're doing's a heck of a strategy.
Have you ever loved someone? I'm talking seriously loved someone. Were you ever in a relationship where you'd do anything for the other person? You'd even give your life for them?
You sure are fast. Nice hustle, you.
Go on, pick away! My brain's open for picking. Don't be shy, ask me anything.
Given how radically different these distinctions can get in this show, it speaks to the sheer amount of versatility required in the field of voice acting. This would probably be one of the easiest shows to put on their reels because of that. Overall, I give Salago an 8 out of 10. It's not too bad at all, but there's just not much to it. It's a brisk and fun watch, but don't expect anything mind-blowing, hence me struggling finding stuff to say about it. The manga's still going from what I understand. A couple party notes. Yes, I'm aware Fatal Bullet now lets you do dungeons with human players, which is good for grinding, but that still doesn't help with completing main campaign missions with annoyingly difficult robot spiders. Also a notice for people that are a bit more passionate about the franchise than I am, I'm positive neutral towards it. It's a fun franchise, but with a few, sometimes glaring flaws.
I'm in love with my brother.
I think it gets a disproportionately bad rap, actually. Me coming back to it so often should allude to some sort of fondness I harbor for it. And lastly, my long hiatus was a result of some behind-the-scenes research and trying to review the Nintendo Labo VR kit, but the camera I was going to primarily use for the game footage broke on me, so I'm going to have to push that video back until I can get an actual GoPro. I had a lot of good things to say about this thing too. Anyway, that's it for me for now. What do you guys think? Have you seen Salago? Would you want a season 2? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, leave a like and subscribe for more reviews of anime, video games, and movies. Also hit that bell icon so you know exactly when a new video goes up, and share this video with someone who might find it helpful. Thanks for watching. This is Brian from Mechbladestudios, signing off.